Hey guys, this is WoodysGamertag, and I'm doing a dual commentary with Murka Durkah. What's going on, man?
Hey, this is my gameplay. Yes, COD 4. You'll notice it's a bit weird at the beginning. That's because my hop-hog is strange, and every once in a while it keeps recording, but the actual TV goes off, and so I'm just looking around like an idiot until I actually get the game going. So stave off your comments about how bad I look in the beginning, please.
I do the same thing. There are videos on my channel where so what happens is I had one monitor, and I would have to switch over from my computer screen to my Xbox screen. So I would just walk forward in the general direction, and I just sit there walking into trees in place, doing nothing, and realize oh man, I hope this isn't a YouTube game. And if it is, embarrassment. So, hey man, you had a topic you wanted to talk about, and I've got some too.
I get questioned all the time about little theories and tricks for getting popular in the YouTube community, and pretty much I thought that Woody would be a good person to talk about this because we both kind of follow the same paradigm of just being really respectful and friendly, and in turn that leads to your subscribers respecting you a lot more. So we're just going to kind of discuss that.
Yeah, for people that don't know, Murka Durkah has one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube over the last couple of months. He has gone from just starting out to, where are you now? You knocking on the door of about 30,000 subs? Does that sound right?
Yeah, this will probably get me to 30K actually.
Yeah, so and that's in just a couple of months, and it kind of solidifies one of the theories I had, which is that people subscribe to you as much for who you are as they do for what you do in the game or what you have to say about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you're starting a new channel, the biggest thing I can say is don't start one if you're not a genuinely nice guy. Nobody wants to hear a fake person on YouTube, because there are so many fake personalities of people who are trying to emulate the already popular people, but you're just you're not going to break in that way. You just got to be yourself.
Yeah, it's funny, so I have this a differing view on that. Who you are is up to you. This is you get to choose who you are, in my opinion. And everyone has that temptation to get grumpy at times. Everyone has everyone has it in them to be in a bad mood. But if you're commentating and that's where you are at the moment, knock it off. Chill and come back when you have something else to say. So that's. A lot of guys say, well, if you're not genuinely nice, you know what? If you're not genuinely nice, then become genuinely nice. Knock that off. And
it's not hard to be a friendly guy. It's just not.
It'll serve you well, both on YouTube and in the rest of your life. You are beasting in this game.
I can't even see it, but I went Chuck Norris on these kids halfway through. I love Call of Duty 4. I'm not that great of a player, I'll be the first to say, but the people on this game are so bad for the most part. It's just not even funny.
So, but I was just thinking. So, did you see the movie Hitch with Will Smith in it?
The one in that fat guy from that other show.
Oh yeah.
That fat guy
with the really pretty wife and
King of Queens.
King of Queens. Yeah. So
that's
the movie. And so what that film is about is Hitch helps people get women who are out of their league, right? That's kind of the deal. And so this guy, he buys nice shoes, and he says, I don't know if this outfit's really me. And he's like, the concept of you is very flexible right now. He says, you look good in the shoes. You bought the shoes. They are your shoes. Those shoes are now you. And that's kind of how I look at who you are as a person too. Are you always grumpy? Well, dude, you can adjust that. Fix it, and you'll be better off. Are you sour too much?
I'm so shocked you made that work. That Hitch analogy.
This concept of who you are is flexible. You get to choose who you are. You get to choose how you react to other people's stimulus. You get to all these things are under your control. So there there you have it. You don't have to sit there and say, well, this is just who I am. No. You get to be who you are and rock it that way.
Yeah, for sure. And, not everyone's nice all the time, and, of course, you're going to make commentaries where you're kind of maybe a little bit more douchey, but, listen to them before you put them up. And if it's not what you want to represent yourself as, then just don't do it. I've done that before, where I've made a commentary, then re-listened to it, and I realize I'm bitching and moaning about the gameplay, or something along those lines. And I'd be like, you know what? I don't want to represent myself like this, so I'm going to redo it.
Yep. I've been there too, and oftentimes it's not just that, or sometimes there's some level of production quality that I want. If I find that I stuttered through a commentary, or that I repeated myself, maybe I made some key point and then I made the exact same key point later in the video. I'm like, no, that's not good enough. So keep your standards high. I think people appreciate a little bit of production quality in their videos, and it doesn't look like you're out there just winging it. It's nice that way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, that pretty much completely coincides with me. I almost always just wing it.
Yeah.
But I don't have too much of a, I don't talk about the gameplay nearly as much as you do.
Right, and that's a good point. So maybe there's a natural talent for guys who wing it. I don't think I'm that guy. I usually put together like 4 or 5 bullet points that I want to talk about. Sometimes if I talk about gameplay, I'll have timestamps like, oh yeah, bring up something that I did right or did it wrong at a given point. But if it's like I've made ones for advice for new people going to college or high school, I made things like that. And for those, I have bullet points, things I want to talk about, and I just run down the list and expand on my talking points.
See, for those, that's something that pretty much only you can offer in this community, and that's why those videos are so popular, is because the rest of us are right in the middle of those things, like high school or college, and we're not to the point where we can give advice. And I think, like make do with what you have, I suppose is what I'm saying. Like, Woody, he's older. He's cracking 75 now, and he knows about college, he knows about high school, and he can give you good advice for that. So, I mean, just if you're really good at something, just talk about that. Maybe you're a sports guy, talk about sports. I don't know.
They're calling me like the grandfather of YouTube now, and I really prefer Uncle. So if I can make that stick, that would be awesome.
Uncles are kind of creepy.
That's what I'm going for. Yeah.
Like, you're that scary guy that shows up. Nobody quite knows why you're there.
So hey,
but as far as Woody being scary, so before commentaries, for those of you who don't know, you send it through something called Dropbox, and that's a file share website. I'm not a technology guy, but I sent Woody the file and I named it "Duel with Woody," to which he responded. You wanna say your own thing?
I don't want to talk about this at all. So yeah, I responded like a total jackass. Here's the deal: I have done lots of dual comms. I did this charity drive for March of Dimes, and in that, I did if someone gave $50, I gave away a couple different things. One, I would give them playing time, and the other was I gave them a dual comm opportunity, or maybe just upload a video to my channel, whatever you want, as a way to say thank you for donating to charity. And just to be clear, that was a charity thing. I didn't take any of that money. And in that process, I got a little more efficient at doing dual commentaries because I did so many of them. And people would send me videos and called Duel with Woody, or they'd make folders for me called Duel with Woody, and I had like 25 folders named after me, and I didn't know who they were associated with. So when Murka Durkah did it, I responded in a way that I shouldn't have. I was like, what is this? I've got way too many folders. They're all named after me. What's wrong with this? How come you don't put your own name in it? And yeah, I embarrassed myself. That's I talked about how you can, you should think about what you do and be the guy you want to be. Well, I failed. I embarrassed myself.
Anyway, it wasn't a big deal. We were just talking about it. And if any other commentator, if I had sent them that folder and they had responded like that, I would have been like, all right, whatever, I'll just change it up. But for some reason, because it was Woody, I was just sitting and I was like, oh my gosh, I let Woody down. I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? I should have thought before I sent him that file.
But we renamed it, and it's all good now. Now we have a folder set up, so the next time we're good to go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I have one more topic I want to talk about. So I just watched a dual comm with T-Mart and Wings of Redemption, and they talked about flushing out the spawn. So for those of you who don't know, in Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, World War, etc., there are these choke points. Most of the maps have like 3 routes to get from one side to the other, and if you watch all 3, then you can just spawn trap them. And this is especially effective in domination, but not just domination. Anyway, when we first started playing with Murka, he wasn't a spawn trapper. That just wasn't his style. I don't think he was used to playing in teams and working a spawn trap like that. And we'd tell him to get out, and you didn't like it. I remember one time you're like, hey, shooting fish in a barrel is not my style. And it's like, but that's what we do here. The whole idea is to get them into the barrel and then just do that for the rest of the game. And somehow it wasn't your thing. Thoughts?
Okay, well, first of all, when everybody talks about this, they lead, like, the way they talk about it is, like, the way they make it seem to be envisioned is that I'm in the game with everyone, and everybody's like, all right, we finally got him spawn trapped, and then I run in there and I'm like, screw you guys, I'm going to do what I want. And like, I'm just a complete dick about it. And that's just not true. It only happened like maybe 5 times in all, and it was all like 6 months ago. And it's just kind of a joke now because I still get crap for it so often from everyone.
Yeah, so Murka has totally started lining up with the team and spawn trapping when we set up the spawn trap properly. He doesn't run in there, and it's two things that I don't like in gaming. One is it's an act of mercy. If we have them locked into the spawn such that they can't get out and they're really stuck in there, and then you go in there and get kills, close to close with your like akimbo ranges or something, you're not abusing them. You're helping them. They're going to start spawning somewhere outside the trap, which isn't what we're looking for. So, yeah. Anyway, we don't like mercy in our games. And the other thing is, and I don't mean to, I wish I had a better word than selfishness, but like when everyone else is there locking down the channels, and then you're in the spawn getting your kills there, that it's not like being a team player. So we would
you could say it's totally selfish, which I realized after I was berated for it hundreds of thousands of times. But I realize it now. But like when you're playing with a bunch of randoms, which is what I did mostly before I started playing with you guys, I didn't even give it a second thought. I just kind of did my thing because nobody was talking. But it's completely different on a team.
Yeah. Anyway, we should probably wrap up now. But good dual com, man. So Murka Durkah, one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube. Check him out. Link in the description.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you, Woody.